Hey, so today we're going to be talking about how America acquires this land that's in dark purple in the northwest part of our country called Oregon Territory. All right. This land is actually going to come from the British. So we'll find out why the British gave us this land. That's something you're going to be looking for. And then again, how does it affect the Native Americans that are living there? So if we go to the reading, it says acquisition of Oregon country in 1846. Right. This is just a year after Texas becomes our 28th state. As you can see in the picture, there's a bunch of beaver pelts. And so beaver pelts have something to do with this. I'll be listening for why that is. All right, so in the reading it says, from the early 1800s, Americans had dreamed that their nation would control the territory called Oregon Country. This northwestern area included the present-day states of Washington and Oregon, as well as parts of other states in western Canada. For years, Oregon Country had been occupied by both Great Britain and the United States. To the north of this region, Russia controlled Alaska, and we know that Russia was very close to Alaska, so that made a lot of sense. In 1844, James Polk was elected President of the United States. He promised to take control of all of the Oregon Country, from the northern border of California to the southern edge of Alaska. This area's northern boundary was deep in British-controlled territory. The boundary was located at the latitude 5440 north. Polk and his supporters demanded 5440 or fight. Neither Great Britain nor the United States wanted to fight a war over Oregon Country. Great Britain knew that the southern part of the territory already contained more Americans than British and Canadians. Besides, most of the British in the area trapped beavers or traded beaver furs, and by the mid-1840s, few beavers were even left. In 1846, Great Britain agreed to the boundary drawn at the latitude of 49 degrees north. It reached from the Rocky Mountains to the Pacific Ocean. The British gave up any land claims south of this line. The lives of American Indians in Oregon Country soon would change for the worse. By 1850, Congress was giving away tribal lands to American settlers. The settlers took American Indian hunting lands and turned them into farms and ranches. For many years, there were wars between American Indians and the U.S. settlers and soldiers. But in time, most of the tribes were forced onto reservations. So the two things we are always looking for is how did we get this land and how did it affect the people that were living there? How did we get this land? Well, Great Britain had owned this area, but there were also lots of Americans living in this area. Great Britain did not want to fight another war, and the reason why this area was valuable to them to begin with is not a reason why it's valuable anymore. Because before they were trapping beavers and using the furs, and at this point there's not a lot of beavers left to trap, and so that land lost its value a lot. So in 1846, Great Britain basically gave up the land because they didn't want to fight. They didn't have any desire to fight America in a war, and so the land became of Oregon Country became America's. We also read that the Native Americans were negatively affected once again because Americans moved in and took their land. They turned their hunting land into farms, and they also were forced onto reservations, which we're going to learn more about later on in this unit as well. So that was that. The next thing we're going to learn about is how we were able to get some more land from Mexico. So stay tuned.